Hi everyone, 'tis the season. We are going to talk about holiday eating and really how to navigate some of that. First and foremost, I'd say it's really important to recognize that this is the time of feasting. This is the time that we get to celebrate being around the people we love, being around the people that we care about, and food will be there. Food is always going to be a part of certain holidays. And to actually embrace that and to accept that, we can go into those eating situations without fear or anxiety or worry. We can go into those situations just really more so in a joyful state of being. So recognize that everyone will probably overeat. Everyone will probably eat certain things that are actually not really on their meal plan, and that is okay. So that really is something to think about as you approach Thanksgiving, as you approach Christmas, as you approach any other type of holiday that you celebrate and recognize. The second, I'd say, big thing to think about is once the food is in front of you, once we're actually in these eating environments, can you practice more of the mindful eating? And there's 5 main principles of mindful eating that we're just gonna remind you on. We've probably talked about this before, but for those that aren't aware, there's 5 big principles here. Number 1, being non-judgmental. Any negative thoughts that are going through your head, anything that is telling you what you're doing is bad, really try to reframe that into more of a positive, loving kind of language towards yourself. Secondly, can we observe? Can we actually tap into what our body is saying? How hungry are we? Are we satisfied? What kind of state are we going into before we get into a certain situation? I know for some certain holidays or certain environments, there's a lot of stress. Maybe some of the family dynamics isn't as great as we would want it. And so really recognizing, what is your body saying? Awareness. So awareness is recognizing not just what's going on internally, but also what's going on externally. So paying attention to your environment. For some, we get very triggered or influenced just by what's going on around us, not just what's going on internally. The next one, savor. Actually savoring your food. So once you start eating, can we slow down? Can we pay attention to the flavors? Can we appreciate it? Can we really let it kind of sit in your mouth just for a little bit so you can take time to actually taste your food versus kind of shoveling it in versus not really recognizing what are the flavors that are really striking you. And then the last one, being in the moment. So sitting at the table, when you're eating, you're really just eating. So really, can you practice this at least one time in your day over the course of the holidays, or when you're in those situations that you feel like might be a little bit more challenging, could you tap into this mindful eating? The next one would be sleep. So we all probably lack in the sleep category a little bit, whether it's not getting quality sleep or maybe we don't get as much as we want. Use this as a time to still make sure we're focused on sleep. Sleep is a huge regulator on not only our food cravings, but also our motivation to even move our bodies the next day. Sleep is probably that big thing that sparks everything else. When we're not getting quality sleep, we will probably gravitate towards the cookies. We're gonna gravitate towards these comfort-like foods. So really honoring getting quality sleep, which for most is anywhere between 7 and 9 hours of sleep, but trying to make sure that you're getting the quality aspect there. So even setting certain routines before you go to bed, making sure you're in a cool place, which you could always crack a little window, let that cool air come in and see what happens. The next component is alcohol. So alcohol is usually kind of free flowing when it comes to the holidays, and you may be drinking at times that you normally would not necessarily drink. Or maybe there's types of beverages that you wouldn't normally consume and all of a sudden it's given to you. Alcohol really does impact every single part of our body from head to toe. So this would be something that we would probably encourage you to set some sort of boundaries around. So whether it's the timing, the amount of alcohol you're drinking during this time of year, this is a sneaky one for some. So really monitoring how much of it you're consuming, going into certain situations, probably with some sort of a game plan. And last but not least, setting boundaries. So depending on who you are, you may need to set very specific boundaries, asking yourself what's okay and what's not okay. I'm just gonna use a little story here. And it was a woman that she's come to Skyterra, and she has the heart of gold. She really wanted to provide some sort of fun holiday gift for her neighbors. She decided to make banana bread for everybody. And the unfortunate thing that actually ended up happening was, as she was making them, she ate an entire loaf of banana bread. Now, banana bread tastes delicious, and yet afterwards, that feeling of shame and guilt and like I blew it definitely sunk in with her. So moving forward, she recognized that probably gifting over loaves of banana bread probably wasn't the wisest decision for her. So thinking about what boundaries do you need to set for yourself as you approach the holidays, versus feeling like before you get into a certain situation, things just get a little bit out of control. So enjoy the holidays. Remember, it is a time of feasting, and savor every moment.